Yo, 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 yo. Just give me a second and make sure I got the sound on, make sure everything's working fine. All right, cool, cool, cool. We're good to go. We're good to go. What is good, ladies and gents? Mara or Tyson coming at y'all real quick. It won't be before y'all too long. I do got some stuff to take care of, but figured I'd go ahead and get on here and do a stream for our channel since we haven't been doing that many. I mean, life is happening, so it kind of it is what it is. But just gonna run through a little bit of video game news, movie news, talk about some One Piece, and then get on out of here. Starting off with the movie news rundown. The Morbius trailer came out today. I know we've had like a sneak peek, a while ago. We saw a little bit of the trailer. I haven't watched either trailer yet. I'm kind of superhero movie out, honestly, with y'all. I'm not even gonna lie. I'm kind of I've pulled myself out of that game. But that trailer did drop. The Marvel toy line revealed who Doctor Strange. So I'm not gonna spoil it for y'all. Who Doctor Strange is going to be fighting in the multiverse of madness. It's a classic Marvel villain. That's all I'll say. Robert Downey Jr. and Matt Damon are joining a Christopher Nolan film called Oppenheimer, German. So obviously, we're gonna see what Nolan does, and Nolan is one of my favorite filmmakers in the modern era. Movies like Inception, Dunkirk, uh, everything that he's done recently. Even the last one he just came out with. I don't know why. I'm blanking on the name. Starred Denzel Washington's son and the new Batman. I'm blanking on both of the actors' names, but yeah, you guys know what I'm talking about. Anyway, Tenet. There you go, Tenet. Yeah, so those movies are coming out. People are upset that Chris Pratt is voicing Garfield in the new animated movie, the Boba Fett. The Book of Boba Fett trailer came out. I did see that one. That one was dope. Obviously, uh, Eternals came out. The reviews will not come out. It had the red carpet event. It's not actually out in theaters yet. It has the first Marvel movie to get a rotten on Rotten Tomatoes, so it's not certified fresh. It's certified rotten. So we'll see where that goes and how they do that whole spiel. There's rumors that GoldenEye 007 is going to come to the Switch Virtual Console. We'll see with the $50 purchase of it. Obviously, that was a bunch of hoopla a few weeks ago. We know that Dark Souls has trading trading figures, and so they've been showing off of Volume 2 of those, and a little bit. They have a story of the Uncharted writer Amy Hennig, who left Naughty Dog. She is working on a new Marvel project, so obviously I can't wait to see what she does. Obviously, she was involved with Uncharted 1 and Uncharted 2, among these. So, which has been, said to be the best Uncharted game. My favorite Uncharted is Uncharted 3. Drake's Deception. I really love that game. But yeah, that's pretty much it for the video game and movie news rundown. All those stories I just read to you off of his eyes on IGN on their Instagram is actually in their bio, so you can go to that link and look at it. But yeah, so obviously there's been a bunch of talk back and forth about uh, with One Piece, right? You have it to where Oda has done his classic fake out deaths, right? So you have it to where if you haven't read it, sorry, this will be spoiler territory for chapter 1030. So if you haven't read it, I would suggest you go and read those chapters. They are up on Manga Plus. .com. You can go there. All of the latest, I think the last 15 or so chapters are up there. You can go and read it over there. But people are upset that the Will of K is seemingly a thing in One Piece now, because Kinemon, Kanjuro, and Kiku are all alive. These are characters previously thought to have died either offing one another. In Kinemon's case, it was supposedly Kaido killed him because he made his speech about how death fulfills a man, right? But we find out that actually Kinemon did not die. the Straw Hats put Kinemon back together. If you remember Punk Hazard, Kinemon was in pieces because Law cut him up with his room ability, and so Kinemon was in pieces. And so the Straw Hats actually found him and put him together, but apparently they didn't level his body the right way. So when Kaido stabbed through him, he actually just separated Kinemon from himself. And so that's what the chapter. That's the second thing the chapter opens up with. The chapter opens up with first is the 1, 2, and 3 numbers, and I'll go through those names real quick as soon as this app loads up and I stop clicking on the wrong manga. Gotta rewind this. So their names are Zanki, Fuga, and Enbi. And so Enbi would be 1, Fuga or Fugetsu would be 2, and Zan or San would be 3. And so it opens up on Apu trying to make a deal with ex Drake, telling him that, hey, we should join an alliance because whoever wins this battle, they're going to be on the brink of death. You and I should strike and kill him and be done with it. A little bit of a caveat before I continue. It's been said that the 3 numbers in this room resemble the 3 samurai that Kaido locked up because they're inside that same cave. The cave has been renovated, so this represents the 3 samurai that Kaido locked up in that cave, who supposedly died when they went to go challenge Kaido. Now, they could have been experimented on. We know that Kaido had employed Caesar Clown through Don Quixote do Flamingo. So, and we know he was trying to do what Vegapunk did and make ancient giants. Maybe he was successful in these 3 numbers that we see here, to where because these 3 do seem to be more intimidating, and again, they do resemble the number 3. He does have on a helmet that the shorter and kind of staunchier samurai had on the helmet. Fugetsu, I'm not going to say he looks like Ushimaru because he really doesn't, but could it be? Yeah. Enbi does look like the guy in that cave, though, except now he would have a mustache and obviously the horns through the experimentation. And so, so that's what the chapter opens up on. The second part is, again, where everybody had the issue with is Kanjuro and them being alive. It's One Piece. I'm used to it now. I'm used to no one dying when Pagaya didn't die, when Inaru hit him with Eldor. I got used to it when Pell didn't die when he got hit by a nuke. I'm used to it. It's like characters really don't die. That's why I've always thought that Pedro could end up coming back when he so-called blew himself up on Whole Cake Island. We saw that even Pound didn't get killed by Oven. So Chondro still being alive really did throw me for a loop. Well, and I understand. I mean, again, it's one of those things that Oda seemingly does not want to kill off his characters. Obviously, I'm not a writer by any means of the imagination. And it seems like he goes really attached to every character he makes. So that's probably why he doesn't want to kill anyone off. He said, but he dropped off after this last attack. So he might be dead now. And very, very much so true. It's one of those things where, Oda writes with Kanjuro in mind, the whole spiel he was getting from Orochi about, how, there was an applause going on. Everyone from the Korazumi clan, their clan was, congratulating him on a job well done, but there was one more job to do. And Kanjuro has received 2 final blows. When Kiku stabbed him the first time, he said, this blow was going to kill me. Kiku couldn't bring himself to do it again, ended up getting stabbed himself. And then Kinemon was supposedly had killed him. But then we see in this chapter, Kanjuro is still alive and kicking and is on his final death's door. It's kind of like a Pentecostal pastor who's on his third closing. This guy is just not dying. So, it's one of those things, Kiku half both of those attacks exactly. It's because they were former comrades. The only one who seemed to really, really be on the level with doing it was Ashura Doji. And I think that's why Oda took him out, is because Ashura saw through it in the first place. He knew that wasn't Odin back when they first did this around, what was that, chapter 10? I want to say 10, 15, 10, 16, around that time. And so, you have those bonds. And again, it's Oda's story. He just doesn't like killing off characters. So does it disappoint me a little bit that he can't kill off a character that's not Whitebeard or Ace in the current era? Yeah, because even there, is Yasue actually dead? We know Kandro took the body away, but did he actually die? We don't know. It's like there's been a lot of fake outs. Do I think it brings the story down a little bit? Yeah, I do, because it's like there's no tension, there's no real stakes because no one's dying. But that's every mangaka almost ever, except that I've heard that in Jujutsu Kaisen they kill off characters in that manga. Bleach would kill off characters from like time to time, but it would be like end of arc. Okay, this character's about to die, things of that nature. It looks like Usopp may save Kiku now, pretty much, because we know Usopp does know a little bit of first aid. Obviously, he was the one who would repair the Mary, even when Zoro would get hurt before they got Chopper. Usopp would actually help him bandage up and things of that nature. It says Kinemon went right for the head the first time on the boat. Exactly, he did, but seemingly he doesn't want to do that now. He went for a body shot, and again, the characters in One Piece are so adorable. Remember when Law got shot by Doflamingo's 16 holy bullets, from his gun in the middle of Dressrosa after he got sent flying all the way from Green Bit? Is like, these characters have ridiculous endurance. These guys are all tanks. Obviously, the biggest tank that we've seen in the series so far has been Whitebeard, but there's going to be characters coming up here soon. I mean, look at what Kaido has went through, so far, in this war. So, but yeah, Oda just seemingly doesn't want to kill off characters, and it's annoying. As I said, it is annoying because you're expecting him to do it, but again, does it bring the manga down? Is he a trash mangaka for this? No, he's not. It's another thing that I was like, okay, there's really no tension in this war. I do think that brings it down. But again, I don't want to say on this the whole time. But yeah, I mean, it caused a lot of uproar. But I agree with Grand Line review. We've all been reading this manga. Some of us 20 years, some of us 15 years, and we know Oda doesn't kill people off, so we should be used to it. By now. Is it disappointing? Yeah, but should we be used to it and not blowing up Twitter about it? Of course. I do think Yasue is dead. Exactly. I mean, I would hope he's dead, but you never know with Oda. And so then right after that, the highlight of the chapter for a lot of people after the whole Kinemon spiel and bit, the highlight of that chapter was seeing Kid and Law awaken. We're seeing them, they had already awakened, but seeing them use their awakened abilities, I should say. We know Laws is called Kroom. He can literally turn his black sword. I forget what the actual name of his sword is. It's a cursed blade, but he can actually turn his sword into a giant incision scalpel. And then he tells Big Mom that the incision doesn't hurt, but it allows him to affect her from within her own body, right? We know that Big Mom's been called a giant iron balloon. She's never taken any damage except for when she scraped her knee. When Mother Carmel's picture got cracked by Brooke, so now we know Law is at least ground coon level, right? He's as strong as the ground, and he actually draws blood from Big Mom, right? This is the first time we've ever seen character in the current era, or even heard of a character, because apparently Roger didn't fight her, Whitebeard didn't fight her, Golden Lion Shiki, Dragon, no one has been able to no one has either fought her or no one has been able to draw blood from her. So Law is the very first character who's actually drawn blood from Big Mom, and that's a huge feat in the manga. Law's abilities are really suited to injuring someone's insides, so that's great. From him exactly. He is a doctor. He is called the Surgeon of Death, and so he uses Kroom, as I said, to make an incision. Therefore, it gives him control over Big Mom's insides, her body, and he uses shock wheel. So I've heard that it's German. So I don't know if it would be Wheele or shock wheel, something like that. But anyway, I just call it shock wheel. He does that. Big Mom is coughing up smoke from the inside of her mouth and blood. So her homies Prometheus and Napoleon are he actually hurt Big Mom, right? Well, we know in the last chapter, Prometheus used a move called Stolen Fire, and burnt Law up pretty good. And so after seeing Law make the opening, Kid jumps in and uses his awakened ability, and he calls it a sign. So he has assigned Big Mom to be a magnet. And so every piece of metal in the room that's obviously not held down by a super strong person. Obviously, there are people who can resist Kid's magnetism. Zoro, obviously, Law, because Law still has his sword in his hand after all was said and done. Uh, he uses a sign. Big Mom becomes a giant magnet, and then he calls the move Punk Clash. In the Viz, it's called Punk Clash. In the hood translations, it's called Punk Crash. I believe it's actually Crash, but we know that both the R and the L are interchangeable in Japanese, I believe, because you can actually refer to Luffy as Rufy. But obviously, I'm going to go with Crash because it makes more sense. Like he literally crashed metal onto her, and she crashed into the floor. On which, again, you could say, well, they clash, both sides, because it was two towers that were on either side of Big Mom. She's in the middle, and then they come in and collapse right on top of her. And so obviously Big Mom's not done, even though that was an awakened move. Law pretty much states that, it's a last resort, because if it doesn't work, then he pretty much has lost the battle, because it takes so much of his stamina. Kid says same thing. He's like, that's why I need you to use it and be the ace in the hole, right? So Law creates the opening with Kroom. Kid comes in with a sign, and they seemingly take down Big Mom. Yeah, right. The comments, he said, I appreciate that Kid's attacks are more about crushing than just hitting, since it doesn't look like he can do the same Conqueror hockey attacks that Luffy can just yet. And even there, if Luffy awakens, I was talking to my brother about this. I said it personally. Me, I think if Luffy awakens, this arc is too much for him. I understand that he's the main character. He's going to be that guy. He's already said that he wants to beat every Yonko out there. But if he awakens this arc, that's going to be just too much. It's like all in one arc. Advanced armor hockey, armament hockey. Last arc he got advanced conquerors hockey, so he's a precog. He can see a little bit of the future before it happens. Now then he got obviously Rio, the flow of hockey. Now he's using conquerors hockey to coat his armament hockey punches to make them even stronger. He's using unnamed punches and sending Kaido flying. And then if he awakens his devil fruit, this arc is I would much rather see gear fifth or another variation of gear fourth. I believe gear four is going to have 4 different transformations. That's why he calls it gear 4. We saw Bound Man, we saw Tank Man, and Snake Man. So I'm obviously waiting for that 4th form. But if Oda skips straight over to gear 5, okay, it makes sense, because Kaido is a Yonko, and this guy needs to be taken down. But obviously, Luffy already has a leg up over both Law and Kid, right? He has advanced armor. He has advanced Conqueror's hockey. Zoro is also tapping into that advanced Conqueror's hockey, but he's doing it unconsciously. He doesn't even know that he can do it, or that he even has Conqueror's hockey. And so it's you already have Luffy and Zoro a leg up. If you advance them too far, it's I know that Luffy is supposed to be the whole pirate king, and Zoro's is the new generation of Silver's Rayleigh, but that's a lot. It's what's going to be the danger after this arc? We're going to go into Elbaf and just whoop any and everybody. Even if Luffy, loses, is going to be how? Because Luffy traditionally in the manga, he does lose his first encounter always. He always loses his first fight in the manga fights, but it's going to be okay, I guess the Giants might have something truly up their sleeve, because obviously Loki is the king in Elbaf, and so we know that in the Norse mythology he's a trickster god. He uses illusionary magic. He shouldn't really fight straight up, but I don't think he's going to be the antagonist. I really think Big Mom is still going to be the antagonist coming out of this, because I've been in this in these conversations a lot. So one thing that someone pointed out on Sawyer's 7 Mages video is that in the Battle of Waterloo, which is where Trafalgar Law's name comes from. Napoleon, because Big Mom's sword is called Napoleon. Napoleon lost the fight and retreated to Elba. If Elbath is the next arc, Big Mom would lore wise, she should be the antagonist of Elbath because she doesn't have a good relationship with the Giants, right? And so that should put her right there. We will finally get her backstory. She might finally learn that she ate uh, Mother Carmel and them, and that's how she got, her like devil fruit because a giant saw her do it, and he told everybody what happened, and so that would be cool if Oda does use the like lore, and then that way, and I agree, Chris, that would be cool if Oda does use the actual real life lore of the Battle of Waterloo and how he went to Elba after that. It would be a great to tie in, and I would hope that it would finally end off the Big Mom saga. Like I like Big Mom, but for a lot of the last two arcs she's been in, she's been big meme. She gets memed a lot. The last arc, Whole Cake Island, Wedding Cake, 27 chapters of Wedding Cake. This arc, she comes in with amnesia. It's like, come on, Oda, like this is Yonko. This is supposed to be one of the big four pirates of the current generation or last generation going into the current one with Luffy, Zoro, Kid, Law, Killer, Apu, and all of them. So, but yeah, to me, I enjoyed the like chapter. If I'm giving it a rating, I'm probably giving it a 7.5 or like an 8 out of 10, minus the Kinemon of them being alive, which I honestly suspected that they were alive. With them being alive, it was okay. But yeah, we'll definitely see what Oda can do and will do with this stuff. But yeah, I enjoy the like chapter, and I'm hoping that this next one answers even more questions as we're going into our new as we're seemingly about to wrap up Wano and head into what's up reset and head into Elbath probably next. So yeah, that's my talk. That's my review of chapter 1030 of One Piece. I hope y'all enjoyed it. Thanks, Chris, for like being here. Reset. Thanks to everyone who liked the stream. Share the stream for us. It would really help out with the algorithm. Leave a comment, leave a dislike, whatever. Any type of interaction gets the video more. It gets it more well known out there. So yeah. Oh yeah, Grim. Hey, what's up, Grim? But yeah, I hope y'all enjoyed it. I'll see y'all soon. Take it easy. I'm hoping Law is not involved in that arc myself. Yeah, I mean, true. I'm also hoping he's not involved in Elbath. I do hope that he goes ahead and gets out of there. But yeah, y'all have a good one.